I never thought the wide-open skies of Montana could feel so suffocating. But that Christmas morning, as I drove up the dusty road to my parents' ranch outside Bozeman, the weight in my chest told me otherwise. For 3 years, I'd been the one holding everything together: the mortgage on their sprawling property, the family trips to Yellowstone and beyond, the endless stream of cash that kept us all afloat. But deep down, I wondered if they saw me as more than just a paycheck.
I'm Emily.
33. A successful editor at a publishing house in Missoula, pulling in enough to afford my own cozy cabin and fuel my love for solo hikes in the Rockies.
Yet,
somehow, my success had turned me into the family fixer, and I let it happen because, hell, that's what you do out here, stick by your kin through thick and thin. It all started 3 years back, during a brutal winter when the snow piled high against the barn doors.
Dad, Jack,
had been a ranch hand all his life, breaking his back on cattle drives until his body gave out.
Mom,
Linda, quit her job at the local school office after her arthritis flared up bad. They were scraping by on Social Security, but the mortgage on the ranch, $1,500 a month, was eating them alive. Over a pot of chili one evening, they let slip how close they were to foreclosure. My heart twisted. I couldn't let the place that raised me go under. "I've got it covered," I said, pulling up my banking app right there at the kitchen table. The transfer was set, automatic, reliable, like the sunrise over the mountains. Their eyes lit up with gratitude, Mom hugging me tight, calling me their saving grace. Dad clapped my shoulder, his rough hand steady. It felt right, warming me against the cold outside. But that warmth faded as the asks piled up. Health insurance next, adding them to my plan tacked on $400 monthly. But with Dad's bad back and Mom's meds, it was non-negotiable. Then there was my sister, Sarah, 28, drifting from gig to gig, waitressing at diners, trying her hand at freelance photography, never quite landing. She'd text me late at night. Can you wire $150 for rent? Gig fell through.
Or,
truck's transmission shot, $300? I always sent it. No questions. Because family doesn't let family freeze in a Montana winter. And the vacations? We'd pile into my SUV for road trips to the Grand Canyon or coastal drives in California. Me footing the bills for gas, motels, meals. They'd thank me profusely at first, posting pics on Facebook about our unbreakable bond. But inside, a quiet doubt gnawed. Was I enabling them? Or just being the good daughter? The math hit hard when I crunched it later. $500 mortgage, $400 insurance, $200 average for Sarah's emergencies, over $25,000 a year vanishing into their lives. I told myself it was worth it for the harmony. But a voice whispered, "When do they start pulling their own weight?" I pushed it down, focusing on my work, editing manuscripts that explored deeper human truths. Irony not lost on me. The crack appeared a month before Christmas. Sarah called, her voice bubbling like a mountain stream.
Ain't.
I met this guy, Mike. He's incredible, owns a small construction firm, comes from old ranch money. I smiled, happy for her. Her past boyfriends were deadbeats who'd vanish when the going got tough. That's great.
Sarah,
tell me more. She gushed about his charm, then hesitated. He's planning this trip to the Pacific Northwest, Seattle, Portland, whale watching. But he wants me to cover us both, to show I'm not in it for his wallet. It's $8,000 total. My stomach dropped. Sarah, if he's got money, why make you pay? Sounds like he's testing the wrong person. Her tone sharpened. You don't get it. He's been burned before. This proves I'm serious. Proves you're a mark. I thought, but said, I'm not funding some guy's getaway. If he cares, he'll handle it. She exploded. You're loaded.
Ain't.
This is my shot at stability. And you're sabotaging it because you're jealous I'm happy? The line went dead, leaving me staring at the phone. Heart pounding. For the first time, I'd drawn a line, and it felt like I'd shattered glass. An hour later,
Momgaan.
her voice icy as a January frost. What did you do to your sister? She's devastated. I explained, but she cut in. You could afford it. Don't be selfish. Family steps up. Selfish? After years of carrying them? The word burned, fueling a storm inside. Am I just a wallet to them? Have I been blind to their entitlement? Dad didn't call, but the silence from all three spoke volumes. I checked Sarah's socials weeks later, posts about dodging red flags. Mike was gone. Vindication should have felt sweet, but it hollowed me out. Why punish me for being right? Christmas loomed, and despite the rift, I shopped. A high-end fly fishing rod for Dad, artisan jewelry for Mom, a leather camera bag for Sarah. Hope flickered. Maybe the holidays would mend us. Pulling up to the ranch, I saw extra trucks. Aunt Clara's, Uncle Tom's, Cousins Riggs. Extended family gathering. Odd they hadn't mentioned it, but perhaps a surprise. Gifts in hand, I knocked. Mom opened the door, her face a mask of stone, blocking the entry like a guard. Merry Christmas, Mom, I said, lifting the bags. She didn't budge. Emily, you need to go. You're not welcome. The words slammed into me. Behind her, laughter echoed, Sarah smirking, Dad chuckling. Relatives watching like it was a rodeo spectacle.
What?
Why? You're a parasite. Draining us dry. Get off our land. Parasite? After all I'd given? The betrayal sliced deep. My mind reeling. How could they twist my generosity into this? Am I that disposable? I didn't rage or plead. I turned, drove away. The vast landscape blurring through tears I refused to let fall. Back at my cabin, the quiet amplified the chaos in my head. I poured a glass of local Cabernet, sank into the couch, and let the numbness crack. Parasite, they'd called me that, after I'd poured my earnings into their survival. The ranch mortgage alone could have funded my dream of a writing retreat, but I'd chosen them.
Now.
Their laughter replayed. A cruel echo. Did they ever see me? Or just the dollars? The anger simmered. Not explosive, but a slow burn that clarified years of overlooked slights. Sarah's endless loans that were never repaid. Mom's subtle guilt about family duty. Dad's silence when I needed support after a tough breakup. I'd been the pillar, but pillars crack under unshared weight. I didn't act rashly. Holidays passed in solitude, hiking trails where the crisp air cleared my thoughts, pondering if cutting ties was revenge or self-preservation. Friends in Missoula, like my colleague Mia, urged me, "You've given enough. Time to reclaim your life." Her words resonated, stirring guilt. Am I abandoning them? But haven't they abandoned me first? By New Year's, resolve hardened. January 3rd. I sat with coffee, laptop open. First, the bank app canceled the $1,500 transfer. A confirmation popped up, and relief washed over me, mingled with fear. What if they lose the ranch?
No.
That's on them now. Passwords changed. No more access for emergencies they'd never reciprocated. Health insurance next. I called HR. Explained removing dependents. It'll process end of month. They'll get notices, the rep said. Legally clean. No surprises there. As I'd added them voluntarily. Then, the extras. Dad's streaming services I'd covered since he couldn't navigate the apps. Sarah's phone plan after her temporary job loss. All severed. Freeing $2,300 monthly. My savings account smiled back. I could finally invest in that home office upgrade. But inside, turmoil raged. Am I heartless? Or just waking up? The backlash hit fast. Texts flooded in days later. Mom. Emily. Mortgage bounced. What happened? Sarah. You petty bitch. Fixing the payment now. Dad. Call us.
Kid.
Banks messing up. I ignored them. Heart racing each buzz. They only reach out when the money stops. Proves my point. Voicemails piled. Mom's tearful pleas. Sarah's rants about my vindictiveness over Mike. Vindictive? For not bankrolling a con? The internal storm intensified. Regret flickered. But betrayal doused it. Years of sacrifice. And this is my thanks. A week on. They showed at my door, Mom wringing hands, Dad stern, Sarah glaring. I let them in, steeling myself. Fix this. Emily, Mom demanded. The ranch could go under. I stopped paying your way, I said calmly. Dad boomed. Unacceptable. We're family. Family? You branded me a parasite Christmas Day. Laughed while humiliating me. Mom faltered. I was upset. Sarah's breakup. And you all joined in. Relatives watching like it was entertainment. Sarah snapped. Get over it. One fight. One fight? It's a pattern. My mind screamed. The argument escalated. Their apologies ringing hollow. We didn't mean it. But their eyes betrayed entitlement. Not remorse. Do they regret the words? Or just the consequences? I laid it bare. I've been your bank. Not your blood. No more. They protested. Voices overlapping in desperation. Mom cried. What about forgiveness? Forgiveness? When you've never acknowledged my pain. Dad tried. We appreciate you, always have. When did you last say thanks? Silence. Sarah stormed out. Enjoy your lonely life. Mom and Dad followed. Mom whispering, this isn't over. But for me, it was a door closing on years of one-sided giving. Months ticked by. Cousin Lisa, the one relative I trusted, updated me. Dad back working part-time at the feed store, grumbling about his age. Mom cutting coupons. Sarah drowning in debt from unchecked spending. They'd sought loans from kin, but got rebuffed. Words spread about their ingratitude. Guilt gnawed. Are they suffering because of me? But I suffered silently for years.
Yet.
A softer voice emerged. Maybe this forces growth. For all of us. My life bloomed. Extra cash funded a solo trip to the Badlands, where vast horizons mirrored my freed spirit. Work thrived. I edited a bestseller on family boundaries, seeing my story in its pages. But nights brought whispers. Do I miss them? The idea of them?
Yes.
The reality?
No.
The drama of it all weighed heavier now. Emotions surging, betrayals sting sharper, self-doubt louder. Was I too harsh? Or finally fair? As spring thawed the Montana frost, the emotional torrent inside me swelled. I glimpsed the ranch in my mind's eye, wondering if the wildflowers still bloomed without my shadow. Cutting them off wasn't just financial, it severed the illusions I'd clung to. They weren't grateful, they were dependent. I realized, the thought twisting like a knife. But doubt crept in stronger. What if I overreacted? Families fight. Do they deserve ruin? The humanity of it haunted me, Dad's pride shattered by retail shifts. Mom's worry lines deepening. Sarah's recklessness catching up. Am I the villain now? Updates from Lisa intensified the inner war. Uncle Jack's exhausted, but he's managing, she said over coffee. Aunt Linda's talking about downsizing the ranch. Sarah? In over her head, creditors calling. Empathy surged, clashing with resentment. They brought this on themselves. But blood runs thick out here. Am I turning my back on that? I volunteered at a local community center, helping families navigate finances, ironic therapy for my soul. Seeing others' struggles mirrored mine, softening the edges of my anger. Perhaps redemption lies in understanding, not revenge. Then, a letter arrived, not from the bank, but handwritten, Mom's script shaky. Emily, we miss you. Please talk. My heart lurched. Miss me? Or the security? I didn't respond, but the words stirred a whirlwind. Regret for the lost Christmases. Ache for simpler times. Have I become as cold as they were? Work became refuge. But even there, characters' familial redemptions mocked me. A manuscript about forgiveness hit too close. Editing it, tears blurred the screen. What lesson am I teaching myself? That pain begets more pain? Summer brought confrontation. Sarah showed up unannounced, truck dusty from the drive. We need to talk, she said, eyes red-rimmed. Inside, she paced. You've destroyed us.
Eminencia.
Dad's health's failing from stress. Mom's depressed. Her voice cracked, vulnerability peeking through entitlement. Is this real? Or manipulation? I didn't destroy you. I stopped enabling. She slumped. I know. I took advantage. Mike was a jerk. But I blamed you. The admission pierced, finally. Accountability. But my turmoil peaked. Forgive too soon. And nothing changes. Hold out. And lose them forever? We talked hours. Her dreams deferred. My unseen sacrifices. I never thanked you, she admitted. Tears flowed. Mine joining, this hurts more than the betrayal.
Why?
Because love persists. She left with no promises. But seeds planted. Inner monologues raged post-visit. Am I softening? Good, humanity demands it. But guard your heart. Dad called next. Voice gruff. Kid, ranch is tough without you.
No demands.
Just honesty. I laughed that day. Ashamed now. The confession fueled emotional depths. His pride masked fear of dependency. Like mine masks hurt. We spoke of legal aid for their finances, free clinics in Bozeman.
Budgeting apps. No handouts.
But guidance. Is this the humane path? Teaching self-reliance over punishment? Mom's turn came via a park meetup. Under cottonwoods, she hugged me fiercely. I was wrong, Parasite. Horrific. Her sobs shook me. Her fear of loss drove the cruelty. We dissected the past. Her cultural upbringing valuing providers. My modern independence clashing. Emotions overwhelmed, grief for lost time. Hope flickering. Redemption isn't easy. It's messy.
Raw.
By fall, tentative bridges formed. Family counseling suggested. They agreed, a light lesson in communication over assumption. We've all grown. That's the win. My heart, once armored, cracked open wider. Emotions deeper than before. As leaves turned gold in the Rockies, my internal sea stormed fiercer. Reconciliation dangled, but trust's fragments cut deep. They've apologized, but words heal slowly. Am I ready? Nights brought vivid dreams, Christmas laughter turning mocking, awakening sweat-soaked. The pain lingers, forgiveness is an erasure. Yet, seeing Dad at the feed store, back bent, but spirit unbroken, stirred profound pity. He's learning humility. Am I? Sarah initiated change, enrolled in community college for business, working part-time. "Your tough love pushed me," she texted. Pride swelled, mixed with sorrow. Why did it take this? Our talks deepened. She shared fears of failure, mirroring my own unspoken ones. We're more alike than I admitted, both seeking validation. Emotions cascaded, joy in her growth, anguish over lost years. Mom and I hiked together, paths winding like our conversation. I feared losing the ranch, our legacy, she confessed. But losing you? Worse. Her vulnerability unleashed floods. Her strength hid fragility. Mine. Resentment. We planned small steps, dinners without expectations, legal reviews of their mortgage for refinancing options. No more my burden, but shared knowledge. Dad's transformation hit hardest. "Over beer at my cabin," he admitted. "I took your success for granted."
Kid. Proud.
But jealous too. Tears in his eyes mirrored mine. His silence was armor, now cracked, revealing love. The drama peaked internally, waves of forgiveness crashing against betrayal's rocks. This is humanity, imperfect, evolving. Holidays approached warily. We gathered modestly, no extravagance, potluck style. Laughter returned, tentative but genuine. Lesson learned, boundaries breed respect. Emotions overwhelmed, deeper than prior files, hope triumphant, yet shadowed by scars. Winter's grip tightened, but warmth grew within. The ranch stood resilient, refinanced through Dad's efforts. Their independence? My greatest gift. Internal reflections crescendoed. I once sought revenge. Now, redemption heals us all. Sarah thrived, her photography business budding. "Thanks for believing when I didn't," she said. Hug fierce. Emotions surged, sisterly bond reborn. Profound joy laced with past pain's echo. Mom's health improved with affordable plans we researched together. "You're my rock. But I'll be yours too," she vowed. Tears flowed freely. Mutual support. Not one way. Dad shared stories of youth, bridging gaps. Families about lifting, not leaning forever. His wisdom struck deep. The light lesson: communication prevents collapse. Christmas reunited us humbly, gifts handmade. Focus on presence. Laughter genuine.
Nos a dos.
We've learned, generosity thrives with gratitude. My heart, once fractured, mended stronger. Emotions at zenith, love's depth infinite. Drama resolved in humanity's embrace.